What makes somebody ultra successful? There is one thing that they understand about money that the rest of us don't. And understanding this one thing can change your life forever. To another video. I'm so excited. As you can tell, I'm like legitimately excited to add value to you, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. What is money at the core? Like, what does it consist of? If I wanted to plant a money tree, which I'm sure if there's a money tree, like everybody would want one, right? So if I want to plant a money tree and grow money, what is money? Like, where does it come from? How is it generated? We could say all kinds of things like, well, go get a job. But it's not that simple. Like, at the core, how does money work? Because if we don't understand how money works, then how can we understand how to make more of it? How to put it to work for us? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Oh my God, I love that book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. One of the big key differences between those that are struggling and those that are wealthy. Those that are struggling are working extremely hard to make money. Whereas the very wealthy are allowing money to go to work for them. So money at the very core is a product of something called reciprocal altruism. This is the word of the day, right? Altruism. This is so valuable. This could take your business, your life, everything you're doing to the next level. Altruism, altruistic value, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others. It's just an unselfish act. It's a genuine act. That's altruism. Well, money, when it comes to life and business, is a product of reciprocal altruism. In other words, you're adding value. Whether you're an employee and you're working hard for your employer, you're adding value to that employer. And in return, they're paying you a salary. They're paying you, they're giving you a check for adding that set value to that company. They're reciprocating. What are they doing? They're reciprocating. So it's a reciprocal altruism. That's how money is generated. If I want to understand how to generate money at the very core, and this is so essential, you would think, what does it matter what the hell I call it, blah, 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 blah. This is so powerful because this hits on so many points of what makes business and life and, even working at your job. What can take you to the next level of success in what you're doing. So any successful business is adding altruism. It's adding altruistic value. It's all about value. Everything is about value. When you add value to the industry, when you add value to the customer, when you have something that we've talked about ESS and evolutionary stable strategy and some of these things, but when you add value to a company, when you add value to your employer, when you add value to the market, you are then rewarded on the back end of that with reciprocal value coming from the customer who you just gave value to. Like, you just fed them so much value. You just made life easier for them. It's like me with, products I use. I use a lot of health supplements. I use an LED light treatment for mask, for my skin, for my face. I use a derma roller. I love derma roller. Forget Botox. Like, seriously, I was all in on Botox. And I'd say, well, I don't see any wrinkles. You know why? Because I derma roll. I'm older than you think I am. But I love derma roller. What did derma roller do to the industry? There was Botox. There were all of these, expensive, painful treatments. that you'd have to go to a doctor for, etc. And here comes Derma Roller with this great concept of adding value to the industry by creating a roller full of needles, which sounds crazy, that you roll into your skin, and it's microdermabrasion is what it's called. Doctors use it. You can get it on a professional level or a home level as well. And it damages your skin just enough to where it stimulates collagen. Because what happens when your body wants to repair damaged skin, if you get an injury, a cut, it's using your vitamin C, it's using collagen and other things to repair that. When you're doing microdermabrasion, you're disrupting the skin just enough, not to even visibly tell so much. Sometimes you'll see a little redness, but it's just enough on a microscopic level that it's forcing your body to rejuvenate your skin, to get softer, healthier, young looking skin. Because with the lack of collagen production, you're going to see fine lines, wrinkles, the signs of aging on your skin. So I didn't get all into this, but what did Derma Roller do? Derma Roller added altruistic value to the customer, to me. And I was so appreciative of that. I bought their product, and I continue to buy their product. Because you want to replace your needles, right? You don't want to use the same needles. Sound like a drug addict. So, common sense. So, I'm a dedicated lifetime customer of Derma Roller. I absolutely love them. So, what happened? There's an altruistic value both ways that is generated. So, how do you put this to work in your life? One policy that I have, anytime something is in my control, like my preset is if I have a business deal with a company, and it's to produce, 1, 2, 3, items, I'm going to produce 4. I'm going to produce 5. I'm going to go above and beyond. And, some people go, well, why are you putting so much work into that? Like, why are you giving extra? Like, they're paying you to do this. Why are you going the extra mile on this when you don't have to, because you're getting paid for only this much? You know why? I'm generating value. People wonder, how can I ask my boss for a raise? What are the magic words? Psychologically, what are the magic words that I can use to go to my boss and ask for a raise? Because I've been working really hard. You know what the magic word is? Reciprocal altruism. Altruistic value. If you can create value for your boss, for your company, and your job is to outperform, overperform, always err on the side of overperformance. And then when it comes time to have that conversation, you can fall back on that. I enjoy working here. I love my job. I've added a lot of value, I feel. Look at this situation, that situation, and yada yada. They've been watching your performance. You have that track record of adding altruistic value to that company, to ask for appropriate compensation, to continue to advance with the company, to ask for more responsibility. That's another thing that you can approach a company with, your boss, is, okay, I've been doing a lot for this company. I love the company, obviously, that's why I work so hard. And I want to know, how can I add more value to you guys? How can I take this to the next level? Do you guys have management openings? Whatever it is. How can I add more value to you guys? How can I be, move up the chain and do a better job? And, any boss in their right mind who's seen that you've been adding value to the company is going to go, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to entrust you with more. I'm going to entrust you. I'm going to give you the opportunity to continue to add more value and compensate you for that value. That's a reciprocal compensation, a reciprocal altruism. Some may say, well, what about that job where I busted my AAAs and I worked for years? My boss didn't care. My boss never gave me a compliment. My boss was a corrupt piece of crap, and I wasted my time. No, you didn't. You did your job. In a situation like that, it's not reciprocal. That's why money at the core comes from reciprocal altruism. It has to work both ways. If it's all you giving to the company, and that company doesn't give a crap, a rat's what about you, then after a period of time when you realize this is actually, because sometimes you feel that way, right? As an employee or, in a business deal, you may feel taken advantage of. and totally misunderstand that. You may totally get to a point where, you know, all of a sudden they do offer you a big raise or an opportunity, and you know, they're like, we apologize, we were so focused on this project, but you've been doing such a great job, we want to give you an opportunity. You're surprised, like, wow, you know, where did this come from? But in the case that your boss doesn't give a crap about you, he's, you know, slumlord mentality and just abusing whoever he can, there is a time to cut that off and to say, okay, I'm not getting my money's worth out. My time is valuable. I'm adding a lot of value to a company. I have a lot to give. I'm talented and I work hard. And, you know, if this company's not going to value me, if this isn't reciprocal, then I've given enough. I'm going to step away. I'm going to let somebody else take this and I'm going to move on, because it's in my benefit and others' benefits, because I can give more to a company where it's a reciprocal relationship. Because if you don't have that, money's not going to be generated. And that even extends to their customers. You know, if the boss is treating the employees like that, how is he treating the customer? You know, if it's not an reciprocal altruistic relationship with you, working hard and adding value to the industry, then is it going to be reciprocal to the customer? Are his products crap? Does he care about the state of his restaurant? We watch Gordon Ramsay a lot. And the number one thing is a lack of understanding and appreciation for the customer. Like, every time when there's a problem in the restaurant, watch every single time. It'll be the chef going, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, they'll say the food was undercooked or it was tasteless or something was wrong with the food. Every single time, any one of the restaurants that are struggling are always a chef that doesn't appreciate the customer. You know, Sam Walton used to have pep rallies with his people in Walmart. He'd go in, he'd get them all excited and work them up in a frenzy. Gotta love the old guy. I wish I could have met him before he passed away. But, you know, one of the things he used to ask is, you know, who's number one in Walmart? You know, a lot of people would probably go, you, Sam Walton. No, it wasn't Sam Walton. He would reprimand you for saying that. It was the customer. The customer is number one. We start from the customer and work backwards, I believe is what Jeff Bezos said. Jeff Bezos' mentor was Sam Walton. Like, this guy who's built an empire. His mentor was Sam Walton. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. And he took that the customer is number one. What does the customer want? How can we, as a company, add value to the customer and use other things like ESS and other things that I've talked about in other videos? There's lots of strategies, but at the core, he's focused on the customer. How can we add value to the customer? If we add value to the customer and to the industry, then guess what? There's going to be reciprocal altruism. We're going to generate money. Those are the ingredients of money. And next thing you know, Amazon just exploded. Their stock's off the charts. Those early investors that were skeptical about this guy and didn't invest are kicking themselves in the butt for the rest of their lives. They missed the opportunity to be filthy rich in Amazon stock. So anyway, I hope this motivates you. It's so important. Like I said, you think maybe like a small thing, just go over your head. What the hell? What does it matter what we call it? It matters a lot, because it takes you back to the fundamental understanding of what it takes to be successful, what it takes to make money. If you want more money, ask yourself not, okay, how can I get money from people? How can I get money out of my boss? How can I get money out of my company? How can I get money out of, you know, selling something to people? That's not the question. The question then becomes, how can I add altruistic value? How can I add value to the customer? How can I better add value to my boss, to my company? And how can I make sure that he feels that value? That is the question. Understanding altruistic value and reciprocal altruism is the key difference that takes you to that next level. If you look at it through the glass of altruistic value and reciprocal altruism, then that keeps you as a person, you as an entrepreneur, you as an employee, focused on what you should be focused on, and that's altruistic value. It just keeps us focused on what the true core of money generation is, of wealth generation. It keeps us focused where we should be and puts us in a great position for great growth. Anyway, that's enough for now, guys. I love you guys. I hope that motivates you. Definitely comment below. Let me know how it's affecting you and how it's caused you to think differently about money.